East Ramapo community. I'm Dr. Ray Giamartino, Interim Superintendent of Schools. Welcome to our weekly Points of Pride. These short clips demonstrate just a slice of the exceptional teaching and the engagement that's taking place throughout the district. We thank you and appreciate you. Enjoy.
This week's pop moment comes from Eldorado Intermediate School, and it begins in 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this week's Points of Pride. I'd like to welcome our Eldorado principal, Mr. Georges, our Eldorado librarian, Mr. Peltier, and ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I would like to welcome this week's Point of Pride, Mr. David, our 5th grade student from Eldorado. Welcome, David.
Hello.
I would love to tell you all about David. So David came to my attention in talking to the other special area teachers. So I'm new to this position and I didn't know David much last year. And the art teacher, Miss Herring, had mentioned what an outstanding job he does in his work. And she has a virtual sketchbook that the students use, and he's doing an amazing job. And she shared with me his artwork. I said, wow. So then once I started talking to him and I started really looking into what he was doing with his assignments, it became clear that there was a lot of thought behind everything that he did. And in talking to him, David asked a lot of questions. He asked me, well, how do I go about inserting audio into a slides presentation? And so I gave him maybe 5 minutes worth of help. And then he spent the day figuring out exactly how to do it. He then came into several of my other classes to teach students how to do this. So the thing that I really was impressed by was him telling me about a game called Among Us. And David plays this game quite a bit. And he mentioned that maybe if we played it after school, more kids would come into class. And so I have David last period every day. Well, not every day, but his class is last period. And so we started playing after school and my attendance shot up because now the kids come into class knowing that at the end of class, we'll play a round or two of Among Us. And playing it in a Google Meet is just a whole lot more satisfying for them. David is also going to be active in our school newspaper. He's going to have a column called Tech Tips for Teachers. And he's also going to work on explaining to parents why there are some video games that are exceptional for students to play, that they really work on their thinking skills. And so that we're David and I and a couple other students at the school are really trying to educate parents and let them know that not every video game is a waste of time and that some of them actually help students when they get to do coding as adults.
David, can you tell us a little bit about your interests, both in technology as well as in the game Among Us?
All right, so first I'll talk to you about Among Us. So Among Us is basically a game of strategy. All your thoughts are coming for your brain. If you don't carefully, my mistake, strategically plan your moves, you're basically nothing compared to the others. Like you're gonna get squashed immediately. So far, I've been looking at Chromebooks and I've used Windows for a really long time. So I'm basically just comparing and contrasting the differences. I will admit I do prefer Windows better, but I find some qualities of a Chromebook that are more outstanding than Windows. Last year when I was in 4th grade, me and Mr. Peltier and my class, I think it was the whole 4th grade, we did a coding curriculum via code.org. So code.org, we basically started out with Angry Birds. From that point, it was just basic building blocks like run 2 steps, move forward 3 steps, move backward 2 steps, move right 1 step. And as time grew, we started placing these blocks, and eventually, I wouldn't say we were master coders, but we knew how to work our way around these things.
Thank you for sharing that information. I really want to also defer to Principal Georges to really give us a sense as to your leadership as a student at Eldorado, because I know that Mr. Georges prides himself on really developing students as leaders, and you're a wonderful exemplar. Principal Georges?
Absolutely. There aren't enough superlatives to describe David. David is a fascinating young man with enormous potential. And I am just so thrilled that he's here representing East Ramapo and specifically the Eldorado Jaguars. He's a leader in waiting, and I'm just thrilled to be a part of his life here at Eldorado.
Ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, Mr. Peltier and David, two primary points of pride led by Principal Georges this week. We thank you all for joining us.